The next section is post-structuralism or postmodern approach. In this approach, the emphasis on the individual and the rigid distinctions between class, race, and gender to also towards its flexibility. The emphasis is on technology as part of its culture or as culture. And you can look on table 3.6, the modern and postmodern society on pages 158, also on page 159. They breaks down modernity to postmodernity in terms of what is a modern society to a postmodern society. And we do have key words in there that could assist you even further understand this. What we're looking at is the fragmentation of experience of reality and how television produces sort of an altered understanding of that reality. And then it moves into different terms of postmodern epistemological thinking, such as enlightenment, fragmentation, schizophrenia, fantasy combination, popularity, consumption, interactionalism, and cultural shift. You will also need to include postmodern style to determine the purpose and focus there. But in terms of this work, they do say that you can stop there after postmodern style in terms of this work. However, you are welcome to look through the different theorists, but in terms of your task 2 POE, they do say that you can stop on page 162 after the postmodern style. But these are key research people in this theory as well. In the summary of this, the emphasis would be the sign and its meaning in terms of its fixed meaning and the role of the producer and the author of text to encode a meaning into text. Post-structuralism will be emphasizing the role of the recipient, which would be the viewer, listener, in the production of meaning. And then the deconstruction in terms of the openness and almost endless nature of meaning. And so on, it gives you a nice little summary of what this is all about. But now we'll be moving on to postcolonial theory and the Afrocentric approach. Postcolonial theory and the Afrocentric approach looks at the unequal histories of global and cultural power in the past. So this is all about the media knowledge and information, how it spreads and subjected to colonialism. All of these global theories of media emphasize liberating effects of media. The theory also observes and obscures the inequality of slavery and colonialism. What needs to be penetrating the system and continuing system of colonial power and Westerners and the tension this brings of the non-Westerners. In terms of the media, they look at the historical structures of knowledge production, how we produce and circulate knowledge. And there's an underlying premise that indigenous knowledge is being suppressed by Western knowledge, which is tying into cultural imperialism and the historical foundation of cultural power and the unequal histories and geographies of global power and culture. The context here would be colonialism, the impact of power of culture and knowledge, as well as neocolonialism, which is the continued powers of colonizers dominating other cultures. Next would be the normative theory, and this looks at how the media should work or play a role in society to achieve its goals. So you'd move across from this if you want to do Afrocentric approach. You could mention, before you actually do move on to normative theory, look at all the major research issues that ask how did colonization play a role in terms of the media, informing the Western ideologies that is being portrayed there. How did Western science and technology medicine change existing knowledge systems? In terms of the Afrocentric approach, you need to emphasize that ethnocentrism that is happening here, in terms of that it could be applying a universal framework. We could also move on then now to the normative theory, which is looking how the media should or could work to play a role in society to achieve specific goals. The aim is to allow the media to fulfill its function in a controlled and responsible way. In terms of normative theory, it's looking at the freedom of expression of the media and how it plays a role in society as a fourth estate. The media should try to sustain democracy, educate, entertain people, as well as inform them. So in terms of this part of normative theory, it looks at how the media plays such a dominant role in society that you could say that they are their own estate, keeping in mind that the states would be the state, and then the church, and then the school. And then the fourth estate could be media, playing such a dominant role in terms of functionalism in our society. We have now concluded Learning Unit 2. Thank you so much for watching this video clip, and remember to tell your lecturers if you have any questions about this work in particular. Look at your lesson plan, and please let your lecturer know what activities you would like to do and more about these approaches.